the NGO, the financial solution of the foundation.
I would like to close the communication. Is anyone that wants to speak about communication?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want the heavy help initiator of the price so very confusing. So I'm wondering what's the next step. I'm not going to say that nullius in verba, but it is. I expected probably a certain document is going to be produced after this.
Well, I will respond to it in my
and then we go in ranking and helping more.
Mr. Chairman, I will give information about everything and more in a few minutes. Okay.
Then
I will give information about everything and more in a few minutes.
you will have the floor in about 7 minutes. We are going to conclude this part. I have 5 people that asked the floor now, and the 4th rapporteur that did not intervene yet, Mr. Clara. You want to first?
I'd just like to stress the 3 main issues related to the mandate of the selecting committee. We spoke in previous term. So the first one should be that pre-agreed fields must be defined by the founder of the foundation, a body that should be established, and it must be done in a flexible way. That means change should be connected to the mandate of the committee and the importance of issues that are agreed about. That means 3-5 years or differently if it would be necessary. Second, the committee should work in a democratic way, not excluding individual opinions, but the decision should be done by the impressive majority, or if not consensus, in relation to the quality of nominee. And for the first award is agreed or said that it should be one award that will attract the public not only by the areas that we define in the beginning of the process, but also with the general nature of the prize. So the Tesla prize should be defined in a way that would be attractive as its own nature. Because we agree that the nominee, the persons, probably would not be a point or element or decisive for attraction in relation to recognition. What is not, must not be, or not necessarily be absolute. It could be different if recognition is related to a person who is maybe not enough understood or not enough not enough perceived as a genius person. Well, be generally the main point on the minority mandate.
Thank you, Igor. So, as I said before, I have 4 people in the list that asked for intervention from the Supremo. I'll pass, thank you. Okay.
So, all that is very exciting, of course. It's a very interesting project, but it seems very clear that it will ask for very big sums of money. If it has not to stop in the first price, especially in the context of said by one of the organizers that an institute will be founded to collect all these people who receive the prize. So my question will be addressed to organizers. I think it's an important issue which was not discussed. What is the methodology of the fundraising?
You will answer in your intervention?
Yes.
Okay. So the next slide, Mr. Krishna.
Thank you. I just wanted to point out what maybe is a bit of a paradox in the way the prize is set up. We want to establish this as a well-respected and credible prize for the first year, and yet we're seeking an unrecognised genius who may well be a challenger to mainstream thought, who may well be outside recognised academic institutions. And that seems to me to give rise to the danger that the mainstream of academia will immediately try to undermine the credibility of the prize. So I'm not quite sure the defence of that. I think there are 2 defences to that. One, of course, is the stature of the people who are appointed to choose the award, and the stature indeed of this body, I think is a very good defence against that. The second defence, perhaps, is, as has been mentioned before, to seek very early on to communicate with civil society networks to explain the ambition and purpose of this prize, which has a very strong humanitarian element to it, and to seek their broad support for it. Because perhaps at the end of the day, if people inside the current system that we perceive is failing us dismiss this prize, maybe that's not actually a problem. Because they're all our main audience. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'll give the floor to Brian Further.
Thank you very much. I have a point that we are trying to establish this prize, which will become synonymous with excellence for the humanity. Now, this is a Herculean task. It's not easy to get it right in the first place. I have a suggestion for you. That for the first 5 years, if you could limit the prize, award of the prize to the winners of the existing international awards, including the Nobel Prize winners, and then open it to the public. So the first 5 years, the selection, and he is quite right, Tony, then you will get the academia and others behind it, because you have selected one of them. Once you do that, you have reached that stage. Then you open it and expand as you desire. Thank you very much.
Well, I think it's an interesting proposal that I'm sure it will be taken into account. And the rapporteur of this session very good. Okay, so this closes that was Junior. I was not looking at it. Sorry.
Harking back to the recent interventions, when you're establishing a new prize, it is a challenge. And I think one must be courageous and take chances. The latest suggestion to already go to Nobel Prize winners reminds me of, I sit on the European Literary Prize, which was created a few years ago on initiative by Michael W. And we had the debate there as well. And some of the members of the selection committee said, let us pick people who already have a whole bunch of literary prizes. That way, everybody will recognize, oh yes, these are good writers, and we will get the prize going. My personal view is quite the contrary. Was to say, well, no, they already got a bunch of prizes, good for them, and let those institutions giving those prizes, the concours and everything you can imagine, let them continue doing their job. You want to do something new. And if you want to do something new, you have to go into uncharted terrain, and you must have the courage of your convictions. The track record of the prize will come after a number of years. It cannot be there on the first year. One has to be aware of that. And this is why the committee, the selection committee and its reputation, the reputation of its individual members will be the only thing that you have to go on, plus the size, as I say, of the money. People do bow to money, alas, as an indicator of quality. It will make them sit up. If it's a $5 prize, you see, you're not going to get much attention. But if it's more than that, yes, they will sit up and take notice. But one has to take, I think, the courage of the man. You see, you have to be courageous and go ahead and then stand on your decisions and your track record. And yes, there will be people who will be detractors. But you just have to keep going if you have a clear vision in mind.
Just my opinion. The communication issue is very important, and for sure we need professionals to do that. But I think we need, at that point, to work more on the story, and perhaps that Emile Constantinescu said this morning on the vision, because after the school day, for me, the vision is not so clear. So we have to make the vision clearer and to tell and to try some story, because I think for sure the money is important, but the power of communication of the vision behind the prize and the story we can tell in different parts of the world, perhaps not the same, different parts of the world, is very critical. Okay, thank you. Let me make a final statement by my part, and then start the short closing session. The statement, I am not one of the organizers. I cannot speak on behalf of the organizers, but I feel that they have invited us to give advice. I think we did our best, but that does not mean that we did everything we could. So, for example, I am sure that I will try to give some brighter message to the organization in the following days. And I invite all of you to do this, because I repeat, it was impossible in one day for a 5-person to give all the advice that would be interesting. So, on a way, our work is close, but I ask it to be prolonged by direct emails or anything. And then they will decide with the workshop or so that's the end of the session. The red card is already gone. Again. Yeah. And then we start the final one, that after the red card there are the policies, or with the motorcycle. According to the program, it is supported now. I should give the word to 4 persons that I am not sure that all of them will have. One is Ulrich, the other one is Gilbert. They already announced that they are going to speak. And the other one was Ivo Black, and the other one is Danis Youssef. Who's that?
Thank you. I will start just because I'm just the practical one. Now for the nice things. We've done the hard work, and thank you very, very much indeed. I'm going to say lots of words of thanks, but that's not my job. That comes from over there. Just practically, tonight at Le Méridien, There's a buffet dinner at 19:30, so 7:30 tonight, which will give you ample time to relax a bit and so on. And then please come and join us. We will look forward to it. It's completely informal, relaxing. Let's have some wine together, some food together. In the main restaurant at the Media Center. Yes.
Sorry, at the end of the very exciting session, a question, maybe a stupid question. Should each of us can nominate, not now, at a reflection, genius in our contemporary world? A name can nominate the genius, recognized or unrecognized, but then give for the reflection.
Again, I speak off the record now, since your question was off the record, but I think we will naturally welcome any such thing. I mean, I think if one thing has been established here today, it is a very open, very collaborative way of working together. This is what the roundtable is about. It's not about all of us agreeing, which we have also proven, but it is working together in a truly collegial way. And I think on the basis of that, we can do a lot of things together. And I think this is the beginning of that. So, my God, he speaks. Okay, that's all there is. So 19:30, we will be going back to the buses slowly afterwards. And please don't run off, because we're going to try to make a group picture of everybody, of all of us together, to have a nice record. There's been lots of pictures made in the room, but let's try to do one in front of the building all together. Shall we try for that? Yeah. So we all have a memory of this occasion. All right? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Gilbert, that's your time.
No, thank you. One was meant by
I will jump before. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say just a few words from the local GRT organization, GO, in Croatia in Split headquarters, that I would like to invite you on our way to Bas, because it's immediately in the southeast tower of the Croatian Palace. So just to see where we are, and probably I hope that we will have in near future, another session maybe there. That is one thing. The other things I would like to stress is that this meeting has enormous importance, not only because of the new prize, it is on horizon, even closer, but of the thoughts and experiences we exchange here. And I believe that this is the strongest or the powerful tool to move on, because the prize by itself it's not the only meaning. I think that the conversation or effort to understand the others from the others' world area is very important, and today it's not so rare, but I think that from the point of the very idea to identify unrecognized genius and to help to find a way better that we are going now, it's crucial to have this type of discussion. So once again, thank you very much, Your Excellencies, friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank you to be part of this distinguished discussion.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start, if you allow me, with a contribution of my wife. The power of golden section to create harmony arises from its unique capacity to unite different parts of the whole so that each preserves its own identity and yet blends into a greater pattern of single whole. My wife sends her very best regards and tells you that this is from a publication which is called Power of Limits, incidentally another Hungarian, György Dóczi. Well, I would like to conclude the following way. With the agreement of the moderators and the rapporteurs, they will prepare a sort of consolidated draft what we, the Office of Global Roundtable, will receive not later than around the next Friday midday. Anybody is objecting? Nobody. That means that Friday evening next day the Office of Global Roundtable will send to you a fairly consolidated draft. Each of them, I am carefully repeating, no more than consolidated max 2 pages. So you would receive probably around 10 pages. Thereafter, you would have the time to the 31st of August to massage it, improve it, and send it back no more than 2 pages each, which goes beyond 2 pages. Our computer automatically cut off. The deadline is clear. Next Friday midday coming to us, next Friday evening going to each of you.
Excuse me, just as a matter of clarity, next Friday midday it comes to the Global Roundtable.
To our office, yes.
And is there then 1 week between or
No,
the same day?
no, the same, because we don't do anything with them. We just send out. But the next will happen. Sorry? Yes, please.
You are saying that all the moderators and the reporters preparing a paper, like we would prepare together.
Basically, you have it.
No, but someone has to work on that. You know, if, for example, if that's what you are saying, and these papers will be sent to you by Friday.
Next Friday.
Next Friday, and you won't read it. You won't.
No,
work on
it
that?
is on this stage. It is the product of yours. Thereafter, everybody will have time until the 31st of August. We will receive it, and it will be the moment when we will start to work, probably 1 week. We would like to have all your consolidated comments. Thereafter, we, the Global Roundtable, will forward it to Mr. Haris Youssef. And thereafter, my recommendation, our recommendation is that Mr. Haris Youssef, with his closest advisors, will take the decision to the follow-up step. Obviously, I hope that we are included among your closest advisors. The next step is that we have already an appointment with the President of the UNESCO General Assembly to have a meeting around mid-September. And there we will discuss on the following step, possible support, whatever. In parallel, via Brussels network, where there are more than 1,000, probably 2,000 civil societies of importance established, we see how we can mobilize them. And also all the relevant bodies, including the World Academy, including the Prostitute Alea, including whatever, including also the European University Association. Basically, these are the next steps. So, in the spirit of the Global Roundtable, we do, and I repeat it, we do not produce a report who said what. It is never the case with the Global Roundtable. We try to move forward a consensus document of which one is what in a few minutes you receive. It is an illustration for, but in this case it will be probably 10 pages. Now, the next is more organizational matter. With some of you, we agreed to provide support to your plane ticket. We will be able to do it provided you will give us the price, you will give us the boarding cards back and forth, because we have to produce it back and forward. And please wait until next Friday, and we will give you information about all this organizational matter. I repeat, the price, the boarding cards, in plural, don't throw them away.
Scan or by name?
Excuse me?
Scan or by name?
But we will give you all information next Friday. Next point, on the way out, you will have 3 documentation there. One is the information from the sort of public relation. Where is the lady? Could you please tell what it is?
It's actually a map of both heritage. So, yeah, we thought it might be good because we have a president of the UNESCO General Conference, and we are here in Split, the World Heritage site. So we left you a map of World Heritage, so almost 1,000 sites, including very much of your countries as well, and so you can take a look at it. Thank you.
This is the document. The second is the product of the latest Global Roundtable, which is by now an official input to the European Union's thinking about its next multi-annual framework program. Last but not least, we are privileged that Mr. Ravi Mehrotra, who wrote this book, and he will stand there and sign it. You may use my pen.